Gonna follow in Texas's shoes and not have any slides or, yeah, we'll see about bribes later. But I'm Joe Bolick from Iowa with the Iowa Composting Council. We formed basically because Iowa feeds the nation. We're the largest producer of corn, soybeans, eggs, pork. We have very little composting in the state. Doesn't make sense. So we got together like we really need to start doing this. We need to do something. We got a group together. We found under the Iowa Recycling Association as as our fiscal sponsor. We have our president of the Iowa Recycling Association right here in front of us with Jane Welch, and we were able to get formed and started. This last year, what we've really done is we started off the year and kicked it off with hiring a facilitator to come in and do some strategic planning. And out of that, we came up with 3 main goals: advocacy, certified training, and then education and awareness. And we've really impacted and tried to do this big time in our state. First thing with advocacy, as I mentioned, we don't have composting in Iowa. We had one site that handled, we have 99 counties in Iowa, there was one site that handled 97 of them. They were shut down for decades of non-compliance. So we have nothing. And then you look at our rules and regulations, you've got the State Department of Natural Resources that regulates the making of the compost, and then the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship, which regulates the sale of it. So we have actively engaged both of these to try to figure out how can we grow infrastructure, how can we do this in the state. We're sitting down right now currently, 13 stakeholders, including representatives from the IACC, are working with the Iowa DNR to rewrite the entire composting regulations in Iowa. We were about 95% done going through some final readings, and then we had a huge wrench thrown into our problem. Our governor decided no more administrative rules. We need to rewrite all of Iowa's administrative code. So all that work we had done, we were 95% there. Now we have to wait till 2025 before they're gonna open up that particular book. But we're there, we're ready ahead of time. As soon as it's opened up, we have the group, we have it done, we have the legislation and the laws all worked out and written so we can start. Because currently, if you compost in Iowa, you can do 2 tons per week feedstock as a permit by rule. How's anyone gonna make any money and grow doing that, right? So we're really pushing for that, and that's one unique thing we do have is we have representatives from both DNR and Agriculture and Land Stewardship. We call it IDOLS. So you always gotta remember what it stands for. But we have representatives there that come to our monthly meetings, give us updates of where things sit and what they do, and then we update them with what we're working on. And we really do work hand in hand with the regulatory authorities on both sides. And we're coming up with common sense rules, laws to make that happen. Like I said, our second one is certified training. We hired Kraft to come in and do a 1-day compost operator training, and came in and it was awesome. We had 27 people that went through and were certified. The DNR signed off on it, and then we partnered again to bring another training to Iowa this summer so we could have any compost operators that we do have in the state, making sure that they're certified. So we've been able to do that. And then with education awareness, pretty cool thing we did is we went up to thanks to the Minnesota folks that are here, we went up to the Pope Douglas County solid waste management site. We brought our entire board. We had 4 leaders of communities, decent sized communities that came up there. We had Iowa City represented, Waterloo, Cedar Falls represented, Ames, and Decorah. All municipal leaders looking this, checking out, and we've already seen some of them start to implement what we learned up there and do. So we're really pushing through that. That was really neat. And like I said, we don't necessarily have a bribe per se, but we are young, but we are mighty. Look at our leader of this entire organization. She comes from Iowa. And while I'm not gonna be throwing oranges out at you, I please hope you attend this wonderful reception tonight where there will be food and free drinks by an Iowa company. Vermeer. So thank you for your vote, and just remember where your drinks are coming from tonight.
All right, thank you all so much for taking the time.